You may not realize it yet. 3 seemingly harmless foods are quietly aging your joints every single day. And when your colon begins to cry for help, that is when the real pain starts speaking. Want to understand what is actually happening inside your body? Watch until the end. I am Ethan Marshall, a 60-year-old physician from the United States who has spent nearly 4 decades studying human health. And today, I want to start with a truth that may startle you. Most of the joint pain you feel each morning is not caused by aging, but by the choices you make at your dining table. If you are watching this video, please subscribe, like, and share so I can continue bringing you valuable content to help you stay healthy and live a lighter, more comfortable life. I want you to recall your morning. When you placed your feet on the floor, did your knee twinge a little? Did you feel as though your body was no longer your own, as if every step had become heavier than it used to be years ago? Many of my patients in their 50s and 60s tell me they have grown so accustomed to the pain that they see it as an inevitable part of life. They are used to joints cracking, used to stiffness after sleep, used to the way their lower body seems to protest every time they stand. But I always tell them, no, this is not natural. Joints are meant to move, support, and carry weight without complaint. When they hurt, it means your body is sending you a signal. The unfortunate truth is that most people ignore that signal for decades. What many fail to recognize is that these so-called age-related symptoms are closely connected to what you eat. Not every food triggers the body to react, but there are 3 specific groups that can significantly worsen inflammation in your joints. They act like a spark thrown onto a hidden ember inside your body. I have witnessed countless chronic pain cases improve simply by removing these foods for just 2 weeks. Patients return to me with astonishment and sometimes regret that they endured years of pain while the solution had been much simpler than they imagined. What concerns me most is not the illness itself, but the resignation. People can be incredibly strong, yet when they live with pain every day, they forget that the body has the power to heal if given the right conditions. Even the smallest pain signals are reminders that something inside you is no longer working as it should. Joint pain is not just about joints. It is the voice of the entire internal system trying to fight toxins, inflammation, and overload. So before we dive into the 3 most harmful food groups for your joints, let me ask you sincerely, what did your body tell you this morning? And did you listen? Please comment with your choice. A. I feel something is wrong with my joints. B. I did not notice any major issues. Red meat has long been a familiar part of many family meals, yet few realize that it is a key contributor to persistent joint pain. Once consumed, the purines in red meat are converted into uric acid. When uric acid exceeds what the kidneys can process, it begins to crystallize into microscopic particles that settle within the joints. These crystals, though invisible, create the distinct aching sensation many describe as if the joints were being compressed from within. This explains why heavy red meat eaters often experience more joint inflammation than those who consume it sparingly. Recent epidemiological surveys show that individuals with high red meat intake suffer joint problems at rates 1.5 to 2 times higher than those who consume less, demonstrating a clear link between diet and inflammatory response. However, uric acid is not the only factor damaging the joints. To fully understand the issue, one must examine the entire protein breakdown process. Under suboptimal digestive conditions, a large portion of protein from meat may remain undigested and accumulate in the colon. There, bacterial decomposition generates toxic compounds that vigorously stimulate the immune system. Once these toxins enter the bloodstream, they increase the detoxification burden on the liver and kidneys while deepening and spreading inflammation. Many overlook this mechanism. Joint pain does not come only from uric crystals, but also from the toxic overload produced by what we eat. Chronic inflammation further sensitizes the immune system, making the joints react more strongly and persistently to even small triggers. When protein remains undigested, self-intoxication becomes more pronounced, requiring the body to handle an excess of unwanted byproducts. Each episode intensifies joint inflammation, slowing recovery. Many individuals only recognize the connection when the pain spreads or worsens after meat-heavy meals. Taken together, red meat does more than generate uric acid. It fosters a metabolic environment unfavorable for detoxification. This is why reducing or temporarily eliminating red meat often brings noticeable relief for many people with joint issues. Once the body stops receiving excessive purine and hard-to-digest proteins, the natural healing process can unfold more effectively. Dairy products, though commonly seen as wholesome nutrition, are among the factors that complicate and prolong inflammation within the body. Indigestion compounds in dairy, especially casein and lactose, tend to produce a thick, sticky mucus. This mucus not only lines the intestines, but can also migrate to other tissues, disrupting normal elimination processes. As these layers accumulate over time, the digestive system loses its natural flexibility, making it difficult to expel waste and toxins efficiently. This traps the body in a cycle of poor nutrient absorption, increased toxin retention, and deepening inflammation. In clinical observation, dairy-related mucus often accumulates in the sinuses and upper airways, causing heaviness, congestion, or mild breathing discomfort in the morning. Over time, it extends to the colon, where it contributes to fermentation, stagnation, and impaired detox mechanisms. A mucus-coated colon cannot function properly, forcing the immune system to handle a heavier load than it is designed for. Dairy can also trigger immune responses, even in those not officially diagnosed with lactose intolerance. When the immune system identifies hard-to-digest proteins, it often responds with heightened inflammation, aggravating existing conditions. For those with joint issues, this becomes critical, as even minor increases in inflammatory activity can prolong recovery and worsen structural damage. Additionally, persistent mucus buildup fosters toxic byproducts from fermentation of partially digested food. Once in the bloodstream, these toxins increase strain on the liver and kidneys, making it harder for the body to maintain balance. Sluggish detoxification not only amplifies inflammation, but can also cause lasting fatigue and reduced resilience. Dairy products are further known to alter gut microbiome balance, weakening immune regulation and making chronic inflammation more likely. All these factors together make dairy a subtle yet significant contributor to joint and systemic inflammation. Removing dairy temporarily, especially during periods when the body is attempting to reduce inflammation, can provide optimal conditions for natural healing processes. The nightshade family, including tomatoes, potatoes, bell peppers, and eggplants, has long been common in daily meals, yet few recognize their potential role in worsening inflammation, particularly in those with sensitive physiology. The most notable compound in this group is solanine, an alkaloid naturally produced by plants as a defense mechanism. While low levels are harmless for most people, a portion of the population reacts to solanine with nervous system and muscular irritation, leading to sensations of numbness, heaviness, or deep joint pain. Solanine can disrupt neurotransmission in tissues associated with movement, making weakened joints more susceptible to irritation. This sensitivity varies widely. Some people experience no symptoms, while others feel noticeable discomfort even after consuming small amounts of potatoes or tomatoes. The variation reflects the body's overall balance. When detoxification and immune processes are overloaded, substances normally tolerated can become potent irritants. In those with chronic inflammation, nerves around the joints often become hypersensitive. Even minimal solanine exposure can amplify pain signals, prolonging discomfort after meals containing nightshades. Many individuals only recognize the connection after removing nightshades from their diet for 2 weeks and noticing significant improvement in mobility. Beyond neurological effects, solanine is linked to mild inflammation in soft tissues. When solanine accumulates beyond the body's processing capacity, it sustains low-grade irritation that hinders full recovery. This is particularly concerning in individuals with compromised digestion or impaired detoxification, as solanine clears more slowly under such conditions. Evaluating the role of nightshades in joint pain requires personalized attention. Temporarily eliminating them for 14 days is a safe, low-disruption approach that allows clear observation, or reduced pain, improved joint mobility, and less morning stiffness indicate a likely sensitivity. If symptoms remain unchanged, nightshades are unlikely to be a major factor. By intentionally monitoring bodily responses, individuals gain deeper insight into how food influences inflammation and can make more informed decisions for long-term health. The colon plays a central role in the body's detoxification system, and any stagnation within it creates ripple effects throughout the organs, including the joints. When functioning optimally, the colon expels waste and toxins efficiently, helping the body maintain internal balance. However, when layers of residue and waste accumulate over time, they form blockages or reduce motility, significantly hindering natural detoxification. As a result, instead of being eliminated, toxins re-enter the bloodstream, travel to other tissues, and heighten systemic inflammation. This state, often described as self-intoxication, exposes the body repeatedly to substances it was meant to remove. In individuals with joint inflammation, this phenomenon becomes more apparent, as weakened joints are highly reactive to internal biochemical shifts. Elevated circulating toxins settle preferentially in vulnerable areas, transforming low-grade inflammation into chronic conditions. This explains why joint pain may intensify even without changes in activity or lifestyle. Impaired colon function also disrupts the immune system. A weakened colon destabilizes the gut microbiome, reducing immune efficiency and managing inflammatory responses. When tissues retain metabolic waste, the body enters a state some researchers call cellular constipation, where not just the colon, but individual cells become burdened with waste, constraining their capacity for repair. In such circumstances, supportive practices like appropriate fasting can be valuable. When the body pauses food intake temporarily, the digestive system reduces workload, allowing energy to be redirected toward cleansing and cellular regeneration. This shift helps the colon restore natural rhythms and enhances its detox capacity. Many people report reduced joint stiffness and improved ease of movement after adopting periodic fasting. Clinically, the first step toward restoring balance is often removing the 3 inflammation-triggering food groups. Without the constant burden of red meat, dairy, and nightshades, both the digestive and immune systems recover more rapidly, while joint inflammation has a chance to subside. Complementing this with fresh vegetables, fruits, and juices introduces fiber and natural enzymes that support detoxification. Over a 2-week adjustment period, many individuals experienced noticeable improvements in joint flexibility and overall comfort. Attentive observation during this time is valuable, as it reveals which dietary factors may have silently fueled inflammation for years. When the body is given the opportunity to recalibrate and heal, joint health can improve naturally without complex interventions. The information above shows that most joint inflammation does not simply stem from aging, but is deeply connected to how the body processes what we eat each day. Red meat with its uric acid and difficult proteins, dairy with mucus-forming tendencies, and nightshades containing solanine all contribute to persistent internal inflammation. An overburdened colon and an overworked immune system turn joint pain from an occasional signal into a chronic imbalance. Removing these foods temporarily and supporting the body through gentle nutrition, cleansing, and reduced digestive load can create conditions for meaningful improvement. Remember that the body has a remarkable capacity to heal when given proper support. Even small adjustments in food choices can lead to major shifts in joint comfort and systemic inflammation. By observing your body's response during a 2-week dietary change, you can discover what best supports your mobility and overall well-being. Which of the 3 food groups do you think affects your body the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you would like to receive an in-depth ebook on health and self-healing, please fill out the form in the description. And do not forget to subscribe, like, and share the video to help spread valuable knowledge to more people.